Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Today, my team and I are excited to present our case study on strategic corporate communication in Asian markets, focusing especially on Unilever Japan KK. And our goal is to analyze how a global giant maintains a unified voice while navigating the unique cultural landscape of Japan. Next. Now, the team members, before we dive in, I'd like to introduce the team behind this research. My name is Akhtar Fattan Widodo, and this is Razza Muktiadi, Satria Pinandita, Ahmad Faiz, and also Alsyahrir Zahni. And together we have looked at Unilever through lines of corporate strategy, market adaptation, and also stakeholder engagement. Next. Okay, our presentation is structured into 8 key sections. I will be covering the introduction and company overview. Then my teammates will take over and discuss market entry cultural communication, organizational culture, and our final strategic recommendation. Next. Okay, to start, let's look at the context. So, Unilever is a global powerhouse operating in over 190 countries and reaching billions of people every single day. But why we choose Japan as a case study? Because Japan is one of the most demanding consumer environments in the world. It is a market where trust building and precise communication aren't just nice to have, they are essential to have for survival. And for Unilever, Japan serves as a masterclass in cultural localization. Next. Okay, the core purpose of analysis is to understand the bridge between global corporate communication and local market adaptation. We will be looking at how Unilever aligns its worldwide missions with local Japanese expectation, especially focusing on the market entry communication strategy, cultural and stakeholder communication, and lastly, crisis communication and transparency. Next. Okay, we move on to the company overview. So now let's move on to this. We will look at the Unilever global presence, its overreaching strategy, and the specific strategic role that the Japanese subsidiary plays within the Asian region. Next. Okay, so the Unilever global presence first. As a leader in the consumer goods industry, Unilever's manage a massive and diversified portfolio. Their businesses is divided into three main pillars, as you can see. It's beauty and personal care, home care, and also foods and refreshment. And to give you an idea of the scale, they own over 400 brands on any given day. 3.4 billion people, nearly half of the planet, use a Unilever product, whether it's Dove, Knorr, or Rexona, or so on. Next. Okay, Unilever corporate strategy. So Unilever success is built on a purpose-driven strategy, and they aim to align business growth with social and environment responsibility. And in communication-wise, they perform a delicate balancing act. First, they maintain global brand consistency to protect their reputation. And second, they empower local market adaptation. And it's ensuring that marketing and messaging feel native to the local consumer. Uh, and also the regulation. Okay, next. Okay, zooming in to the Unilever Japan KK, the company has been a fixture in the Japanese market since 1964. Headquartered in Tokyo, they manage everything from marketing and distribution to localized brand communication. In a market where quality is synonymous with brand credibility, Unilever Japan places an intense focus on building long-term trust with the consumer. Next. Okay, this is the product and or product portfolio and the local operations. So in Japan, the portfolio is heavily weighted toward beauty, personal care, and home care. You will recognize household names like Lux, Dove, Axe, and also Pond's. Beyond just selling products, their local operations involve deep consumer insight and retail partnership, and this ensures that global strategies are adapted to meet strict Japanese regulatory requirements and cultural norms. You can also see the key function, uh, including the consumer engagement and consumer insight, localized brand communication and adaptation, brand marketing and advertising, product distribution and retail partnership, and the last one, quality assurance and supply chain coordination in the slides. Next. Okay, for the strategic role in Asia, finally, it's important to see Japan not just as a market, but as regional strategic learning hub. Because Japanese consumer have such high standards for safety and credibility, uh, success here acts as a benchmark. The lessons Unilever learns in Japan about transparency and branding messaging ultimately strengthen their entire communication strategy across the rest of Asia. Next. Okay, last one from me, which is the global brands under Unilever. As you can see from this world map, the footprint of Unilever brands from Lipton and Skippy to and the left one we have Vaseline and Surf is truly global. Every brand shown here must adapt its communication language to fit its territory while staying true to Unilever mother's brand. And with that overview of the company global on and local standing, I will now hand it over to the teammate to discuss our specific findings and their market entry and competitive strategy. Next.
Okay, so moving on to our analysis of market entry, Unilever's success in Japan is not merely about the product distribution, but about establishing institutional legitimacy through longevity. While many multifunctional firms are viewed as temporary, uh, on Unilever, Japan has maintained a continuous presence since 1964. And this 60-year history allows the firm to position itself as a trusted local corporate actor that deeply understands the evolution of the Japanese consumer. And in a market where the stakeholders' demand is extreme, it demands extreme transparency and also reliability. And Unilever moves beyond the image-led marketing into the evidence-based communication model. And this involves the backing of global brand promises with localized scientific claims and visible quality assurance, which is very critical for meeting the high expectations of the Japanese consumers regarding the product safety. And next is the strategic purpose of the communication. And to maintain the competitiveness, Unilever employs a strategic brand architecture to capture diverse market segments without diluting its overall corporate identity. And as shown as our research, this allows for targeted emotional narratives. And for example, the product Dove builds a reputation capital through self-esteem and care, while the product Lux competes directly with the premium domestic rivals by emphasizing the sensory luxury. And this is the localized approach where global reputation meets local execution and is further strengthened by linking brands to broader values like sustainability. And a key research evidence of this is the Unilever cow partnerships with which demonstrate an adaptation to the Japanese cultural value of collective action rather than acting as a solo corporate entity. And ultimately, this communication strategy ensures that Unilever remains both respected and also resilient in one of Asia's most demanding consumer environments. Next will be explained by my partner.
Okay, thank you for the previous explanation from my teammate. Next, we will talk about the cultural and stakeholder communication of Unilever in Japan. Cultural adaptation. Unilever used localized messaging aligning with Japanese values of trust, quality, and precision. Structural localization via local marketing, quality assurance, and customer service. Of course, organizational culture, work from anywhere and anytime policy, signal trust and autonomy. Office redesign as a space to connect, collaborate, and celebrate together. Third, we have a stakeholder engagement. Of course, a tailored channel for consumers, employee, supplier, investor, and regulators needs to have a two-way dialogue via Caroline, social media, and annual sustainability reports. Next, we have cross-cultural collaboration, partnership with Cow Corps on plastic recycling in Japan, multi-stakeholder model matching Japan's preference for collective action and practical implementation. Next. Next, we have a consumer trust and market expectation, especially in Japan. Japanese consumers are known for high expectation. They are concerned about product safety, quality, and brand credibility. Company must provide detailed product information, transparent labeling, and consistent brand messaging. This impact Unilever Japan, therefore, emphasizing their clear product claims, factual marketing, and strong quality assurance messaging across its marketing strategy. We have the same multi-step consumers, employees, suppliers, and more. With this, regulation are through structured channels such as customer service, platform, social media engagement, and more. This two-way communication impacts them by strengthening transparency and helps the company maintain strong relationship across Japan highly business ecosystem. Of course, as I've mentioned before, we also have collaboration of industry partnership. In Japan, company often collaborate with an industry partner. An example of this is the Cow Corporation in Plastic Recycling Initiative, which demonstrate how multinational firms adapt stakeholder engagement strategies to local industry practices. Next. This is a structured chart of a communication flow in a Japan market. First, Unilever will go with a global corporate strategy. Of course, this will be changed in Unilever Japan through local communication adaptation or localization. Then, all of this localization or adaptation are then carried to stakeholder communication channels. As we can see here, there are five main communication channels that we want to highlight. First, we have consumers. Second, retailers. Third, regulators. Fourth, suppliers. And fifth, employees. This will create a trust, compliance, and brand reputation. This is a key insight of effective corporate communication in Japan that requires credibility, transparency, and strong stakeholder dialogue to maintain long-term trust in a highly demanding market. Next slide will be explained by my teammate.
Okay, now moving into the core of our analysis, it is about the crisis communication. So in the digital first market like in Asia, crisis is never just a technical failure, but it is a battle of perception. And to navigate this, the company applied the situational crisis communication theory. It is a framework that allows companies to match the communication strategy with the level of responsibility to the public. And there are two events in here. First, let's look at the greenwashing investigation first. In this case, people feel the company is at fault. So this is a preventable crisis, and our goal here is to rebuild our reputation. According to the 2023 annual report, Unilever didn't just use a word; they provide the audited data, and by showing proof that has been checked by expert, Unilever turns promises into real facts and stop people from doubting them. And the second one, the case is boycotts. For geopolitical boycotts, like in Indonesia, the situation is different. This is a victim crisis because the company is targeted for global political reasons outside its control. And here we use a bolstering strategy. We remind everyone that we have been in Japan since 1964, and the company showed them that the company have helped the local community for a long time. Okay, next. For the Unilever in Japan, the global template must be locally calibrated. This is what the company called the Japan factor. As you can see, first, the company must address the Japan's uncontaminated avoidance score of 92%. This means Japan's people want exact detail and health risk. In Japan, being transparent is the only way to be trusted. And this is why the Unilever moved from using fancy image to using hard evidence in their communication. They provide detailed data that has been audited, as seen in the latest report. And one very important point is remedial laughter. This is the research by the Stedler shows that in Japan, laughter is often used to cover up embarrassment or tension during a crisis. If a global manager thinks this laughter means I agree, they are making a big mistake. And understanding this help the company talk to partners without hurting the social harm. And finally, to show we are not just foreign, we work with Cow Corporation by partnering with a local leader. Unilever Japan's becomes a trusted local partner. This is the best way to build the transparency.
Okay, let's move on to strategic recommendation. All right, so based on this analysis, there are a few key strategic recommendations for Unilever in Japan. First, it's really important for Unilever Japan to build a stronger local corporate narrative. In Japan, trust is everything. So the company needs to communicate in the way that feels local, not just global. Second one, they should develop a more specific stakeholder map. Japan has very structured relationship with regulator, partners, and consumer. So understanding its group deeply will help improve response time and trust. And another key point is two-way communication with consumer. It is not just about message, but also listening. This can direct improve customer satisfaction and engagement. They also need to strengthen supplier communication because better coordination can reduce disruption and in the supply chain. In terms of risk management, Unilever should localize their crisis communication strategy. Japan expects fast, precise, and transparent response during crisis. For sustainability, it is not enough to make claims; they need strong, variable evidence to avoid regulatory issues and maintain credibility. And finally, investing in communication capability for managers is a crucial because communication is not just a support function, it is a leadership. All of these recommendations are supported by measurable KPIs, such as improving management, reducing response times, and increasing trust scores. Next, please. So, to conclude, the main takeaway is that strategic communication plays a central role in Unilever's success in Japan and across Asia. It is not just about marketing, but communication actually functions as a core business capability. It helps build trust, maintain a relationship, and ensure long-term resilience. At the same time, there are both strengths and risks. Unilever global strategy is strong, but needs to continuously adapt to local expectation, especially in a market like Japan, where precious and cultural alignment are very important. From a personal reflection, one thing that stood out to me is how communication is far more strategic than we often think. A key lesson from Japan is that communication must always fit the context, especially in terms of politeness, trust, and quality. I think that's all from our presentation, and thank you for your attention.